Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner.
Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. I saw this on Tincast. This is from the Post-Millennial. Watch as Democrats' online safety, quote-unquote, expert humiliated in Congress with her own tweets threatening judges. Yeah, I even highlighted here activist instructor with Harvard Law, Alejandra Caraballo, believes rhetoric on social media leads to real-world violence. Unless that rhetoric is hers, of course. Yeah, I am so sick and tired, and there she is there. I'm not even going to mince words anymore. I am so tired of these pieces of I could scream, and they're everywhere, and we've allowed this to happen. But rather than my ranting on and on, let's listen to the video because it's very interesting. Now, on the left is Congressmember Mace, M-A-C-E. Those of you that live in her district, or even if you don't, look up her congressional phone number online and call her office. Congratulate her for trying to expose these, I'm just going to say it, really, good for her. She's doing yeoman's work here. So let's listen to the video, and it's going to be interesting to say the least.
Is rhetoric on social media a problem and a threat to our democracy, Mr. Ward?
Yes, absolutely.
Mr. Siegel?
Yes.
Ms. Caraballo?
Yes.
Ms. Nomani?
Yes.
Ms. Tyler?
Yes.
Another question I have, do you believe that rhetoric targeting officials with violence for carrying out their constitutional duties is a threat to democracy, Mr. Ward?
She's going through this because she's setting up the one that we talked about at the beginning of this video. And you're going to see it's done beautifully. She might have been a trial prosecutor at one time because she handles this really well.
All right, thank you very much. Only a few weeks after the attempted attack on a Supreme Court justice on June 25th, one of the witnesses, Alejandra Caraballo, tweeted out the following in response to a decision on abortion overturning Roe v. Wade, and I'll quote directly from the tweet: "The 6 justices who overturned Roe should never know peace again. It is our civic duty to accost them every time they're in public. They are pariahs. Since women don't have their rights, these justices..."
Now look at the guy on her left. Raskin. What a piece, what a huge piece of this guy is. And he has been for a very long time. It's amazing to me. Absolutely amazing. He's embarrassed. He doesn't know what to do. But you know what, though? There's enough America First Congress members that got elected to the new Congress in January to hold real hearings. And we'll see. If these progressive congressmen, we're going to have to see how much balls the Republicans have to really go after this craziness. And we're going to see the reaction from the progressives who have dug themselves in the hole. They just don't know it.
Justices should never have a peaceful moment in public again. I know something about being accosted. The night of January 5th, I was physically accosted on the streets of D.C. in Navy Yard by a constituent of mine. I fervently blamed rhetoric on social media, rhetoric at public events, for being physically accosted. I carry a gun everywhere I go when I am in my district and I'm at home because I know personally that rhetoric has consequences. I've had my car keyed. I've had my house spray painted. I had someone trespass.
Not to interrupt the video again, but here's the distinction. These moron progressive Democrats actually think, to them, this isn't a double standard or hypocrisy. They truly, really believe they are fighting evil. They are fighting white supremacists and Nazis. They truly believe that. So anything goes when you're fighting evil. So there are no rules. But if the side you're opposing breaks a so-called rule of morality or civil discourse, and now all of a sudden they're evil. They really, truly believe that their opposition is evil and must be destroyed.
In my house as recently as August. I've been doxxed on social media about where I live. And I've had to add to security everywhere I go, often because I can't afford it. I have to carry my own firearm wherever I go. And Alejandra Caraballo also recently tweeted on November 19th, not even a month ago, that the Supreme Court, vested with the judicial power of the United States by our Constitution, stated they are not a legitimate court issuing decisions. And also the Supreme Court is an organ of the far right. So my last question today of Ms. Caraballo, do you stand by these comments, this kind of rhetoric on social media? And do you believe it's a threat to democracy?
Thank you, Representative, for the opportunity to clarify and provide context to my tweets.
I have a question, is it yes or no? Do you believe your rhetoric is a threat to democracy when you're calling to accost a branch of government, the Supreme Court?
I don't believe that's a correct characterization
What
of
you
my
tweeted.
statement.
You don't believe that's a correct characterization. Lie, lie, lie. These pieces of have been getting away with this for years. For years. And they've indoctrinated a whole generation, 2 generations with this craziness. Absolutely insane. Not give them a moment's peace in public for the rest of their lives. These people think they're on the right side. And so did a lot of other regimes in history thought they were doing the right thing. They're evil and they're cult members, and they can't be saved. They have to be pushed out of our colleges, our local institutions, and our state and national institutions, period. And if you can't get rid of them at those levels, make it so that their power and authority is meaningless.
Statements.
Did you not tweet that you thought that the Supreme Court justices should be accosted?
What I'm
you
saying
tweet
is
that,
that
yes or
that is
no?
not an
Did you tweet
accurate
it?
characterization of my statements.
On June 8th,
That's not a characterization of my statements. It is our civic duty to accost them every time they are in public. These justices should never have a peaceful moment in public again. That's pretty clear. There's no mincing words there. And that's of June of this year. And the other tweet was from last month.
8th of this year, a man was arrested near Justice Brett Kavanaugh's home in Maryland. He told law enforcement officers he wanted to kill a Supreme Court justice. He was found with a knife, with a pistol, 2 magazines, ammunition, pepper spray, zip ties, a hammer, crowbar, and duct tape.
Ms. Caraballo, on page 12 and 13 of your written testimony, you painted concerned parents as having been infiltrated by white nationalists and far-right militia groups, which played a significant role in school board protests. This has not actually been my experience with concerned parents. In your testimony, you wrote that in Loudoun County, Virginia, unfounded rumors that spread in local parent groups on Facebook about an alleged trans student sexually assaulting a girl in a bathroom led to a firestorm of several heated school board protests that descended into violence. But in fact, the perpetrator, it actually turned out, had committed 2 sexual assaults at 2 different Loudoun County schools in 2021.
Now, they'll hate Mr. Donalds even more because he's black and he's a conservative Republican. That's high on the progressive Democrats' enemy list. Women, like Congressmember Mace, yes, but especially males and females that are black are high on their priority list of targets. And I don't mean that literally. I'm talking about political targets. Because these people think, like almost all progressive Democrats, that certain people of certain races have to think the same, or they should think the same. They categorize people. It is the twisted version of the Jim Crow South. It truly, truly is. And they think they are in the right. There's only a few seconds left, and then we'll make a comment.
And was arrested on October 7th, 2021 by the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office. These weren't unfounded rumors, as you suggest. It actually turns out law enforcement had to act because a sexual assault occurred. So giving this, I'm assuming that until now you were unaware of what happened here, and you're going to update your testimony for the committee. Is that correct?
We'll just leave it with this. Caraballo also said white supremacist ideology undergirds the core tenets of other forms of extremism that have become more prominent in recent years, including conspiracy theories like QAnon, the anti-LGBTQ movement, and the election denial and anti-government rhetoric that contributed to the attack on the January 6, 2021. How about May 29th of the previous year of 2020, when the White House was surrounded? Over 100 Secret Service agents were injured when a Secret Service guard shack in front of the White House was burned and knocked down. It's amazing to me. They had to put the President of the United States in a bunker. And all of a sudden, you don't hear anything about it. Even Fox doesn't talk about it much. It's amazing to me. The FBI, continue her comment, the FBI and Department of Homeland Security have recognized white supremacy as the deadliest terrorist threat facing the United States. That's an absolute lie. I live in upstate New York. We have a hockey team here. I think there's about maybe 7,000 or 8,000 that can fit into an arena for a hockey game. I doubt there are true white supremacists would fill up an arena for a hockey game in the entire country. Everybody that disagrees with the progressive Democrats are white supremacists, and they're against LGBTQ. If you're against drag queen story hours, you're against tweaking to small children and underage young adults, teenagers. If you're against all these horrible things, then you are against the LGBTQI plus. I mean, how many letters are they going to put on there? And you're also a white supremacist. Even if you're not white, you're a white supremacist. Fascinating, isn't it? These people need to be stopped. Because frankly, people like you and I and millions of others have sat on our hands and didn't know what to do. We don't want to get involved. Well, now it's out of control. Hopefully, I pray that the new Congress that's sworn in next month starts having hearings and exposing these pieces of for what they really are. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.